Hey everyone, Eric here. Just with a quick video, I wanted to share some of my experiences with attending the Game On Expo 2016 in Mesa, Arizona this weekend. I attended all 3 days and it was tons of fun. I attended a couple of panels, picked up some cool stuff which I'll show off in a minute, got to play some awesome arcade games. Definitely a good time. There was some good live performances. The mini bosses were there and they were playing Friday night. That was cool. In the same area where all the arcade games were, so that was really cool to get to have some live music going on while playing some old school arcade games. But anyways, first let's go over some of the stuff that I picked up, because I picked up some cool stuff this weekend. First thing is I was definitely on the hunt for Atari 7800 games, and unfortunately there weren't a lot of Atari 7800 games at the expo this year, but that kind of makes sense. But I did pick up a few. I picked up, what is this, Real Sports Baseball, which was cheap. It's like a couple bucks, no big deal. And then I also picked up Galaga for the Atari 7800, which I really, really wanted. So that was cool. And again, cheap because it's an Atari 7800 game. And then I also picked up Xevious Complete in Box, which was cool. The box is a little crushed, but that's not a big deal. The manual and the disc cartridge are in there, which is cool. So I'm super excited about that. And then also just random stuff. I picked up SimCity manual for the SNES. It's the Dr. Wright's Urban Planning Guide. I really wanted that. And conventions are a great place to go if you're looking for manuals. Tons of vendors will oftentimes just have boxes with manuals, and it's like everything in this box is $5, everything in this box is $3, everything in this box is $2, and you can just go through and find any missing manuals you need. So that's cool. Then I also picked up. This is actually for the Atari 2600. It's one of those double ender cartridges, which I don't have any of these yet, and I wanted one just to play with. So this one's got Ghost Manor and Spike's Peak on it. I have no idea, like I said, if any of these are good, but definitely excited to play that. I also picked up, which is cool, Pat the NES Punk, Pat Contry, he has a booth at a lot of the conventions he goes to, and oftentimes he's selling stuff like his extras and whatnot. And he funds a lot of cool stuff, I think, doing the Flea Market Madness thing. So I actually picked up a few things from him, which was cool. I got Exile for the TurboGrafx CD, which pretty excited about this, mainly because of that, the Working Designs logo. I'm a sucker for Working Design stuff, so that was cool to pick up. And I also picked up from him Animal Crossing for the GameCube. I've been looking for that, and that was kind of random to find at the expo. And then I also grabbed the Video Game Years Volume 3, 1983 through 1985 on DVD. This is a cool series on YouTube. If you ever get a chance, look up the Video Game Years by RetroWare. Definitely cool. So I picked that up on DVD. What else did I get? Oh, kind of random things. I got this Lakitu plush, which is pretty cool. I'm going to hang him somewhere in the office, and he's got the spiny hanging from him, so that's pretty cool. And then, what else? Oh, I picked up dice for playing D&D because I've had this set. This is the original Dungeons & Dragons basic set, and it's got everything in it but dice, and I want to play with this, so I got dice. That was cool to find. Another thing to note is the Game On Expo is not just about video games. Tons of Dungeons & Dragons stuff, Magic the Gathering, all kinds of tabletop board games, so pretty much anything gaming related goes on there. A lot of that's not really my thing, but there's tons of other people's thing, and they're doing it. So that was cool. A few other things I picked up. Oh, there was a booth there called Fat Cat Gaming, and I'll post a link to their page down in the description. They had a lot of import stuff. They were like the big import booth there, so I picked up a few things. I grabbed this is interesting, a Famulator. I just recently moved, and somehow I lost my Famicom to NES adapter, so I haven't been able to play any of my Famicom games. And this thing was like the same price as a converter. So this is cool. It's a whole, basically Famicom clone console that's made to look like the Famicom. It's called the Famulator, which is awesome. So, and I'm going to do a review on this. So it's complete in box. The box is cool. It's shiny. Love it. Super excited for that. And I also picked up from them a SNES Repro. This is BS Zelda, Map 1 and 2. BS Zelda was a Japanese exclusive thing on the Super Nintendo. They had a adapter for the Super Nintendo that lets you play games that were distributed via satellite, kind of like the Sega Channel thing, but with satellite. And there was some exclusive Zelda games on there. So this is a repro that somebody made, and like I said, they had some repros, which was cool too. So like I said, I'll post a link down to them because they were awesome. They're based out of Las Vegas. And then the last couple of things, I picked up a couple of NES games. I picked up Commando because I actually don't have this and I can't find it locally. It's dirt cheap, so I'm not gonna go buy it off of eBay because it's really only worth a few dollars, and by the time you figure in shipping, it's silly. And I have not been able to find this locally, and somebody had it for a few dollars at the convention, so snagged that. And then I also picked up Hide Light, but what's really cool about this is Pro Jared was at the convention, and I got him to autograph it. So I've got a copy of Hide Light with Pro Jared's autograph on it, which is pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited to add that to my collection as well. And I'm gonna actually play this. I know this game is supposed to be terrible, but I've never played it. And this was a game I wanted as a kid and never got, so I've got to play it and see if it's really as bad as everybody says. I'm sure it's a horrendous nightmare, but whatever, I'll put up with it. So that was the stuff that I picked up while I was at the convention. Nothing too exciting, but a lot of cool stuff nonetheless. I was happy to get some 7800 games, get the Famulator. That was cool. I also attended some panels. I attended the Metal Jesus Rocks panel, which was awesome. I attended Pro Jared's panel, which was also hilarious and awesome, and actually went an hour longer than it was supposed to. He did a 2-hour panel with the game historian was with him and the completionist, and that was hilarious. Wow, that was really funny. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some video, read a random video I took of the convention, some of the games that were there, the vendors, that kind of stuff. So hopefully you enjoy that, and thanks again for watching, and take care. Let's take a look at the vendor hall first, and there's the Fallout Games booth. That's one of the bigger booths at the expo, and they're pretty solid dudes there. Lots of vendors from all over the place, which is awesome. Here's the Collector Vision Games booth coming up, and they were demoing their Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death homebrew game, which looks awesome and plays awesome. I played it for a few minutes and it was tons of fun, so I'm looking forward to that. Lots of arts and craft type stuff too, perler art, original artwork. That was all pretty neat to see. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool t-shirt vendors too, which was cool. And there were lots of booths for different homebrew projects that are going to be coming out soon, and that was neat to try a lot of that stuff. Toys. I love toys. I filmed this on Saturday, and it was very busy Saturday afternoon at the expo, which was awesome. I was glad to see that. Lots of people were having fun. That little booth there on the left, they had lots of import stuff, which is nice. I'm starting to get into collecting import stuff because it's definitely the cheaper option, like for things like the TurboGrafx 16 and the Sega Saturn. Lots of cosplay this weekend, which was neat to see. Retrobit had a booth there this year, which was pretty neat. And 8-Bit Kitty, which is a new game sale website, that was cool too. They were there. Those guys were pretty cool to talk to. And here we have the Super Nintendo CD Sony PlayStation prototype that was on display, and they were actually letting people play it, which was pretty cool. They had a homebrew game there called Super Boss Gaiden. Here's some closer pictures. That just blows my mind, seeing Sony PlayStation on a Super Nintendo controller. Here's a free play console area where they had a ColecoVision hooked up to a super old TV, which was cool. Vectrex, lots of NESs, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendos, all kinds of stuff hooked up. They had a GoldenEye N64 tournament going on Saturday, which was fun to watch. That Neo Geo cabinet, that little tiny one, that was cool. Those are really cool. I have not seen one of those in person before. We got some Street Fighter 2 going on the projector. Here was another free play console area. Now here's actually 3 Japanese arcade games they brought in, but most of this room was dedicated to modern console and modern PC gaming. So they had lots of modern PCs set up and Xbox Ones, along with those Japanese arcade games. Lots of people were having fun in here. And here's a cool thing they had called the Retro Living Room, where each day they pulled out a different system. Friday starting with the earliest stuff, so Bally Astrocades, RCA Studio 2s, Nintendo TV games, really old stuff. And then Saturday was kind of the middle stuff, so here we have a Laser Active, which is cool. I've never seen one of those in person, but they're playing the Laser Active here with the Sega Genesis module. Definitely a cool idea, and definitely one of my favorite parts of the Game On Expo was the Retro Living Room area. And here we have the free play arcade with just tons of arcade games. And also the live musical performances were going on in here, so it was definitely a party atmosphere, tons of fun, and lots of just super awesome arcade games that you don't see anymore. They had the Nintendo World Championships competition going on there on that big screen. Love the Star Wars arcade game. An old school Space Invaders cabinet. And this Star Wars Battle Pod game was drawing quite a line to play for it, as you can see. It had lines on it all weekend. And here we had a bunch of fighting games, Killer Instinct 1 and 2, some Mortal Kombat games. And even some pinball machines, which was cool. Mario Kart DX GP, or no, I'm sorry, Mario Kart GP DX. Definitely lots of things to see and do this year at Game On Expo 2016. I had a blast. I would definitely recommend going next year. I'll definitely be there the whole weekend again. Tons of fun. Here's a few more old school arcade games. Popeye, which is one of my favorites. And I will leave you with a shot of this sexy Nintendo versus system here with Castlevania and Excitebike. Hey guys, thanks again for watching, and definitely make sure you head out to the Game On Expo in Mesa, Arizona next year. And if you've got a few minutes, why don't you check out one of these video game reviews here that I've done recently, and also don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.